Good day, righteous family, and all praise to only the Almighty, Most High Creator, Aya, Creator of Abraam, Isaac, and Yacob. We're going to finish out Psalm 78 tonight, 32 to 72. And I read, In the midst of all this, they sinned yet more, and believed not his miracles. And their days were consumed in vanity, and their years with anxiety. When he slew them, they sought him, and they returned and called betimes upon Aya. And they remembered that Aya was their helper, and the Most High Aya was their Redeemer. Yet they loved him only with their mouth, and lied to him with their tongue. For their heart was not right with him, neither were they steadfast in his covenant. But he is compassionate, and will forgive their sins, and not destroy them. Yea, he will frequently turn away his wrath, and will not kindle all his anger. And he remembered that they are flesh, a wind that passes away and returns not. How often did they provoke him in the wilderness, and anger him in a dry land? Yea, they turned back and tempted Aya, and provoked the Holy One of Israel. They remembered not his hand, the day in which he delivered them from the hand of the oppressor, how he had wrought his signs in Egypt, and his wonders in the field of Tains, and had changed their rivers into blood, and their streams, that they should not drink. He sent against them the dog fly, and it devoured them, and the frog, and it spoiled them. And he gave their fruit to the cankerworm, and their labors to the locust. He killed their vines with hail, and their sycamores with frost. And he gave up their cattle to hail, and their substance to the fire. He sent out against them the fury of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and affliction, a message by evil angels. He made a way for his wrath. He spared not their souls from death, but consigned their cattle to death, and smote every firstborn in the land of Egypt, the first fruits of their labors in the tents of Cham. And he removed his people like sheep. He led them as a flock in the wilderness. And he guided them with hope, and they feared not. But the sea covered their enemies. And he brought them into the mountain of his sanctuary, this mountain which his right hand had purchased. And he cast out the nations from before them, and made them to inherit by a line of inheritance, and made the tribes of Israel to dwell in their tents. Yea, they tempted and provoked the Most High Aya, and kept not his testimonies. And they turned back and broke covenant, even as also their fathers. They became like a crooked bow. And they provoked him with their high places, and moved him to jealousy with their graven images. Aya heard, and lightly regarded them, and greatly despised Israel. And he rejected the tabernacle of Siloam, his tent where he dwelt among men. And he gave their strength into captivity, and their beauty into the enemy's hand. And he gave his people to the sword, and disdained his inheritance. Fire devoured their young men, and their virgins mourned not. Their priests fell by the sword, and their widows shall not be wept for. So the Almighty Ayah awaked as one out of sleep, and as a mighty man who has been heated with wine. And he smote his enemies in the hinder parts. He brought on them a perpetual reproach. And he rejected the tabernacle of Joseph, and chose not the tribe of Ephraim, but chose the tribe of Judah, the Mount Sion which he loved. And he built his sanctuary as the place of unicorns. He found it forever on the earth. He chose David also his servant, and took him up from the flocks of sheep. He took him from following the ewes, great with young, to be shepherd of Yacob, his servant, and Israel, his inheritance. So he tended them in the innocency of his heart, and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. That is the end of Psalm 78. May the Almighty Ayah protect and bless you who seek his law, statutes, and commandments. All praise to only the Almighty, Most High Ayah, creator of Abraam, Isaac, and Yacob. The Almighty loves you. I love you.
I love you.
My Queen loves you. Have a beautiful day, family, and continue to walk in righteousness. Have a beautiful day.